everyone, my name is Naomi Celeste Dimas from SK Sengkebin, Dalat. Today, I would like to tell a story entitled The Homeless Monkey. Once upon a time, there lived a monkey who had no home of his own. They called him Springs, for he always walked with a bounce in his steps. He had sold everything he owned, and with that money, he started traveling the world. He wanted to see the world's smallest and biggest wonder. He traveled from village to village, town to town, and offered his services to do work in exchange for food and shelter. He was a very happy monkey, and he loved helping people. One day, he passed through the village of Zebra, where 20 animals lived. He saw an old beaver, so he walked towards him and said, "Hello, Mr. Beaver. If I was to do some garden work for you, would you be so kind as to give me something to eat?" The old beaver agreed and asked Springs to do some gardening and fix up a few things around the house. It was a long and very tiring day for Springs, but enjoyed his day. When Springs returned to the house in that evening, the whole village gathered there. There was a lot of food put on a large wooden table, and everybody is celebrating as a hero had come to their small village. They all had a great time that night. It was like a big party. There was a dancing, lots of food, and Springs really enjoyed his evening. The tomorrow morning, when Springs was ready to leave, the old beaver approached Springs but with tears in his eyes and said, "Thank you for joining us for dinner. Please come back whenever you have time. I have 2 boys around your age who I have not seen in 10 years. Spending time with you reminded me of my boys." Springs did not know what to say, so he just hugged the beaver just like he would his father and set off his way with a promise to return one day. Springs had been walking for some time and was tired. He saw 2 highway robbers who pushed him down and took his bag away. When they looked inside the bag, they only found a rope, some tools, and some bread. They threw his bag on the ground and ran away. Springs grabbed his backpack and continued his journey. He started to think about all the good and bad in the world. The road was long and windy, and finally led him to the dark forest. The only way he could continue his journey is to walk through the forest. Springs had been walking for some time and was tired. And then he realized that he was lost. Springs decided to climb up a tree to relax and ate some bread that the villagers had given him. Suddenly, he heard some voices were shouting for help. He climbed down the tree and ran where the direction of the voice were coming from. Springs reached the voice were coming from. He saw the 2 highway robbers who pushed him earlier that day were trapped inside a deep hole in the ground. They were both trapped and couldn't get out and were yelling for help. Springs quickly reached his backpack and grabbed the rope that was inside. He tied one end at the tree and threw the other end inside the hole. The 2 robbers quickly climbed up the tree to safety. The robbers were amazed that Springs had saved them. One One robber asked, "Why did you help us? We pushed you and tried to rob you earlier." Springs replied, "There are good people and bad people in this world. I have decided to be the one of the good people." The two robbers were amazed by Springs' reply. Springs told the robbers, "I have traveled far and wide, seen happiness as well as sorrow. I have met all kinds of people, good, bad, old, and young. I have experienced all sorts of bad things, but I have tried to do only good things." As Springs was leaving, he gave the two robbers some bread with a smile and said, "I hope what I have said today will make you realize that there is always a way to live without causing harm to the others." That's all from me. Thank you.